What's up, all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as thatstarwarsgirl, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the controversy that is surrounding Gwen Stacy in the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. Now, this has been blowing up on Twitter, I feel like for a while now, and then it finally, like, somebody finally said something, and this person's tweet just kind of blew up. So I have this pulled up on Twitter here, and this is what it says. Gwen Stacy is trans. Her whole arc is a trans allegory. The colors are the trans flag, but most telling, her white cop dad wears the trans colors on his uniform. No fucking cop is that much of an ally unless they have a trans family member! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! It's totally not that, you know, they're trying to do subliminal messaging in the movie. It's not that at all, or they're trying to insert their own ideologies onto characters. Couldn't be that at all. It has to be that Gwen Stacy is trans, right? Because that's the way that these people's minds work. It doesn't make any sense. So I shared this on one of the threads where I found it. So I found this tweet from Delusional Takes, and Delusional Takes obviously is a really big account, and they had over 2 million views on this. The initial one had 1.3 million views. So obviously this tweet had been making the rounds. But so this is a point that I thought, illustrated how absolutely insane the tweet in question that caused all this controversy was, which was based on the logic that Spider-Gwen is trans because the colors in her costume match trans flag. What about these colors? And you got Miles Morales. What is his costume match? Oh, wow. Another spider from history. We got Spider-Man, and it's like, well, it's like, and it just... Exactly, look, Wolverine, like, come on, like, really? And you know what another thing is? It's like that flag that's something else. That's another tweet I was going to promote at the end. But I'm like, okay, this flag that they all want to, say things, this is a new flag. This character has obviously been around for a long time. And just the idea that you have to literally just make everything. I mean, this wasn't their character. This is somebody else's character. And they're just doing a version of her in the Spider-Verse. And I know people are screaming at me. They're like, well, maybe in this version of her, it's like, if there's an infinite amount of universes and there's the multiverse and there's an infinite amount of characters, well, they're not using that version of Gwen, right? They're using the version of her that is popular, that sells. I'm using that loosely because I don't know what the sales are on this character anymore. I mean, it's supposed to be for girls, right? I've never bought a Gwen Stacy comic. I've read a few of them and I wasn't really interested in them. I don't really care. But I'm not exactly the biggest Spider-Man fan either. I mean, you guys can see I like Batman. I like DC. I do like Marvel. But Peter Parker was never my favorite superhero. I mean, I feel like every little kid likes Spider-Man. I just was like, it's too... I don't know, like, Spider-Man just doesn't seem as heroic to me, and maybe that's because Spider-Man was like a teenager, right? He's in school and he's doing all this stuff, and it's like I can't trust him to save me like I could a grown up. Like, that's my childlike mind thinking. Like, I don't want another kid to save me. I want a grown up to save me. And yes, I do know Spider-Man does grow up, but that's just my logic as a kid and like why it never stuck with me. And yeah, I think the Tobey Maguire movie has definitely, helped make him a little bit more popular to me. But even then, I'm like, if I had the choice to watch Batman or Spider-Man, I mean, I'm picking Batman. And so think about that, just from my perspective going into this. And so this whole thing with Gwen Stacy, it really started when people saw like the shot of she's got the flag up on the wall and it says save trans kids, and that really stuck out to people because there's that whole argument where it's like, well, kids don't know about these kind of things, and if you don't show this to kids, like, it's not what's on kids' mind. And anyone that has ever spent time with a child can tell you, I got a stepdaughter, that is not something, actually they laugh at all this woke shit. Like, my stepdaughter laughs at this woke shit. They think it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, they're not really buying into it. Obviously some kids are, but that usually has to do with the parents shoving it down the kids' throats. And it's not a healthy way to live. I obviously adults want to impress their own ideologies onto their children because they're, teaching their children, and what they think is right is what they're going to do. But it's like, that's when you get the controversy, because not everyone agrees with what is right and wrong. And that's been, I feel like, a theme in human existence from the beginning of time. Like, as a country, we can't agree on X. As a planet, there's no universal language. There's not a universal religion. There's not a, universal way on how to run a country. So it's like, yes, everyone has different opinions on how they do things. And I think it was understood as human beings that it's like, all right, you do things this way and I do things this way. And at the end of the day, all we want is for our children to prosper and be healthy. I think that was a universal theme throughout humankind, was that, all the sane people, they just wanted, like, we're agree to disagree, but we all want what's best for the children, right? And people get really upset when things that they don't agree with get shoved down their kids' throat and there's propaganda shown to their children. Nobody likes that. And guess what? Kids don't like that either. They don't care. They don't care. They want to play Fortnite and watch Ninjago, and yes, they like Spider-Man, but don't put your politics into kid stuff, because, I mean, if that's all your goal is to shove propaganda to kids, then I guess that's what you're doing. But if you want to tell a story and you want to sell product and you want to really resonate with a child and for them to grow up loving this character, then don't do the propaganda, because that's not what kids want. That's not what they like. Kids they do like superheroes. They like fantasy. They like adventure. They like action. They like, things that they can look up to. And a lot of kids fucking love Spider-Man. That's why he's one of the most popular characters in the entire world. I feel like you could go to some country in Africa and show the kids. That was a universal thing that, when I was in college and we were learning about logos, it's like you can go anywhere in the world and show someone a Superman symbol, and odds are somebody there is going to know what the Superman symbol is. Same with Batman, same with Spider-Man. Those are the three most iconic, based on just the icons. They don't have to be the most popular characters. I'm saying the most iconic. Everybody knows what the check mark is, right? That's Nike. Everybody knows what that symbol is. I feel like at this point now, since I took that class back in college when I was learning all this shit and design and animation and stuff like that, it's changed. I feel like now Twitter is a universal symbol that everybody knows. Everybody knows, the medical symbol, right, with the staff and, the thingy-majigs. Everybody knows what that is. Everybody knows what the cross is. Everybody knows what the Star of David is. Those are universal symbols that you go anywhere on the planet, and typically most people know. Spider-Man is, as far as superhero goes, one of those symbols. And, you can argue that Wonder Woman's W is up there as well. And now Captain America's shield, and heck, even probably now Iron Man, because the MCU has taken off so much. So, yes, when you show Spider-Man to kids, yes, they love it. Kids love Spider-Man. They want to go see Spider-Man. What kids don't love is propaganda. They don't love grown-up shit shoved down their throats. They don't like being spoon-fed. That's something that kids hate. And you guys have probably seen this where the little kid's like, I'm not little, I'm big, right? Kids don't like to be patronized. And that's why it's effective when you are, trying to, scold a child. Is kids hate it. They hate it, so they try to, not get patronized. Kids do like being treated like they're smart. Right? And nobody likes being treated like they're dumb. Little kids, though, especially when they have older siblings, they don't like being like, oh, I'm not the little one. I'm just as strong. I'm just as smart as you. That's what little kids do. So when they see this propaganda, they know it's grown-ups treating them like they are dumb, and they don't like that. And typically, also, kids rebel against their parents. So, shoving this woke ideology down their throats, that's not going to do anything. That what really does happen, though, is when the parents force kids into things, and that's an entirely different situation and different conversation for a completely different video. I just think based off of this, it's stupid. But you know what? They don't care. They got to do these things, and they got to make everything, they got to change everything. Remember the gingers? Remember when we used to have gingers and stuff, red-haired people? And this is the thing, too, that they're you got to protect the minorities. And it's I'm pretty sure gingers are one of the biggest minorities on the planet Earth, along with, albino people. Those people there's not that many of them. Gingers are actually dying out, and albinos, that's like a genetic anomaly thing. But there's not very many of them, right? And so they use them in comics because when you're drawing comic books and, you got to, make characters interesting, make them a little bit different so that way they stand on the page. Oh, hey, let's make that character a ginger. And what do? They take all of the gingers and then they turn them into, they make them black people. And it's like, and they're like, you got to protect the minorities and you're racist if you say anything against this. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure gingers are a bigger minority than black people are. I'm pretty sure that there's more black people on the planet Earth than there are gingers. Again, gingers are dying out. There's not very many natural gingers anymore, right? There's plenty of people that dye their hair red. Like, see, I dye my hair blonde, right? I'm not a natural blonde. And there's, people out there that dye their hair ginger. They're not natural gingers. Natural gingers, I'm pretty sure, are one of the biggest minorities on the planet. But they don't care. They're just like, let's get rid of them instead of, maybe, I don't know, just making new characters, right? It's like, wow, crazy new characters? What is this concept? Oh my goodness, like nobody can do that. And it's like, but people have done that and they've been very successful at constantly creating new characters, or else we'd still be seeing plays from, I don't know, fucking Roman and Greek times, right? Like everything would be Shakespeare. Oh, what was that? Shakespeare created characters? Oh my goodness, yes, he used like historical, themes in some of them, and some are historical characters. But what's this? He created new ones? What do you mean? What, Othello wasn't a real person? Wow, crazy. Oh, but you want to talk about, okay, let's talk about trans characters, right? Or like LGBTQ plus characters. Oh, did you ever see that like movie Rent? That was like a Broadway musical. I remember I watched that movie when I was a kid. And my favorite character in that movie was Angel. Angel was a drag queen that dies, right? Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Rent. And it's like, wow, an original character that was actually a great character and a good person. Angel kind of holds the group together. And when Angel dies, they all kind of go their separate ways. And there's a whole song about them, all fighting at Angel's funeral. And it's like, oh my gosh, like this character that was a great person that held all the friends together. It's like, wow. But then they're like, oh, well, we can't make new characters. We have to change already established ones. It's like, no, you don't. What you have to do, if you really want, certain things to be prominent in media, you have to get off your fucking ass and you have to work. You have to, read a fucking book, read a comic book, take a creative writing class, and make something new. Psh, mind-blowing, right? I mean, I thought that was kind of a common sense thing, but no, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do any of the work. They want to take things that were already created by somebody that was actually creative. They want to take somebody else's homework, erase their name and write their name and change the answers and still get an A on that paper. It's like, no, that's not how it works. And they get mad at, people like me when we say something. It's like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to fucking say something because this is retarded. And I don't think there's any problem with me saying that because it is. I'm just calling it like I see them. You want to have all of these things and, have it be all over media and you need that to feel represented. I'm like, well, I feel really sorry for you that you can only relate to people that are like you. I think that's extremely simple-minded. I think you should probably see a psychiatrist and, talk out those issues because I think it's so unfortunate when people, again, are so simple-minded that you can only relate to somebody that has walked in the same shoes as you. That, what a terrible fucking life you must live. Like, to be honest, I couldn't imagine living like that. I couldn't imagine, never relating to another human being that was different than me and never being able to enjoy content from characters that are different than me. I mean, I would never get to enjoy Batman. I would never, be able to enjoy Star Wars because no one in Star Wars is like me. And that's so sad to me that people can't do that nowadays. Or they can, they just, are pushing an agenda, right? Or they're too afraid to. or they need serious psychiatric help. But yeah, anyways, guys, I've rambled on enough. Let me know what you think about all of this down below in the comment section. If you guys like this video, please smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. If you guys haven't yet, go and back my calendar. It's live now on Indiegogo. And until next time, I hope you guys all got have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. May the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and also for supporting me and my channel and my content. And if you guys would like to support me further, my newest cosplay calendar is live right now on Indiegogo. You guys can go and back it. We already have raised over $50,000 in less than a week of it being launched in the first 30 days. So thank you so much to everyone that came out to support this. I have been putting so much of my heart and soul into this calendar and doing these cosplays, and I'm loving the way each and every one of them has turned out. And if you guys want to follow along, go over and back this campaign or check up on it, because I will be posting updates as more and more cosplays get completed. I have done 2 already. This is, of course, my 3rd cosplay calendar that I've done, and the reception for the first one was great. The reception for the second one was even better, and I hope that this one I can, really blow it out of the ballpark, and hopefully you guys will all like it, which you guys all seem to have so far. So once again, just thank you, everyone. Check on the campaign for updates for more cosplays as they're going to be coming out. It is linked down below in the description of this video, so you guys can go and check it out. And once again, guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.